Welcome to the Getting Started recording for C++ programming. And this is for C++. Actually, it could be the getting started for either the block schedule or the semester schedule because the first week is pretty similar. So as we take a look at this, you can see that the first week is just getting used to the course. So you're going to be looking, obviously you're reviewing this information, reviewing the course syllabus to learn about the course. Then you have a number of activities that you'll do out of the course overview section right over here, course overview. You'll do all of these. This will get your computer set up, get a zipping program downloaded to your computer, install the course resources, learn how to zip assignments and things like that. So first week you just kind of ease into how the course is going to work and to get prepped for the course, get ready for the course. And one thing before we get going, we're going to use C++ 2008. That's what the course is written for, and 2008 is sort of hidden away. So what you need to do is click on this link, and that will get you, you can see in the lower left corner of my screen for a second there, it did the download, but that will get it to where you can download C++ 2008. And then you can install it on your computer. But I wouldn't worry too much about this right now. Go through the course overview unit and do some other setup before you start downloading your software. So let's take a look at this, the course syllabus. Course syllabus, of course, is all the information about the course. So there's the contact information, my phone number. That's the best way to get a hold of me, although you can call my cell, but I prefer you to call this because it has a messaging system, all kinds of things. My office hours are really flexible. So, anytime you need to get a hold of me, that would be fine. And this email address, we've switched over email addresses. My real email address is rharrison@k12.com. But unfortunately, I can't change this because it's part of the system, the way the system is set up. So here we are into C++ programming. You can go through the syllabus, learn a little bit of information about me if you want to. That's fine. The description. So we're going to do just some basic, like lower level programming, but using C++. You're going to learn the word similarity, similar to the English language to a certain degree. Some commands and things like that are. We also see how it's flexible as a programming language. And you'll understand the processes involved in software development and programming. And it could lead to a career as a software engineer, developer, game designer, etc. Over the course of the semester, or the block, whichever you're in, you'll end up doing 8 projects. And I have these spaced out pretty well. If we were doing a block, you'd do 1 project per week. In a semester, you'll do a project every 2 weeks, essentially. The grading is based on 500 points. At any time to figure out your percentage, just take the points you've earned so far, divided by the points possible up to that date. Now, I do not offer any extra credit. I feel that students get the grade they deserve by doing the required work. But sometimes I may give, like if you have outstanding work, I may give you some extra points. To find your current grade, always go to the grade book. You don't need to send me a K-mail to find out what your current grade is. Gradebook tells you all the time because I grade things fairly frequently. Finally, if you want to get an idea of your passing overall, 450 would be 90%, 400 would be 80%, 350, 300, you can see that. Submitting work, since this isn't a regular course of mine, meaning that if you're on the semester schedule, and you're only like 1 or 2 students in this class from Julesburg, then I don't automatically jump in and check this course like I do my regular classes that have 30, 40, or 50 kids in them. What I'd recommend you do is send me a K-mail whenever you submit work. And then I'm more likely to go in and grade it quickly. Now, I'm not saying that I just will never go in and grade your work. I'm just saying that if you want me to grade it pretty soon for you, then let me know that you have it submitted. The work for each week is listed in the announcements, and I already showed you that. And finally, quizzes. There's a quiz for each unit. And I've provided quiz previews for each one. So what you'll do is you'll look at the quiz previews, find the answers to the quiz previews, then do the quiz. So since I provide the quiz previews, I do not let you redo the quizzes. You get one shot to do the quizzes. So please keep that in mind. So if you look over here at an example, I'm going to go to Project 1, and you'll see that in Project 1, there's the quiz preview right here. There's all the information for the quiz preview, so you'd go to find these answers, figure out what they are, and then you'd go do the quiz. And you only have 30 minutes to do the quiz, so don't go into it first. So that's the course syllabus, a course overview. Now, we'll work through this in a minute as the main part of the recording, so I'm going to go through a few other things. The course schedule. You can get to the course schedule. It's in the doc sharing area. So if you go to doc share, and here's the course schedule, and it downloads it. Just if I can see it down below here. That's not what I wanted. Oh, crud. So anyway, I can't get it to show up here. It doesn't want to do it. Here we go. Okay, I'll just pull it up here. So here's the course schedule. So you can see that week 1, you're doing this stuff. Week 2 is the Hello World project. Project 1 is week 2. Project 3, or week 3 is project 2. You're going to do a simple calculator program. Then after weeks 2 and 3, then the rest of the projects, like project 3, you get 2 weeks to do it. Project 4, you get 2 weeks to do it, etc. So I spaced those other ones out quite a bit for you. Maybe make it a little bit easier, a little bit more time as the projects get a little bit more complicated. So that's the course schedule. Okay, work to submit. So you can go to the doc sharing area, and what I've done here, and this isn't allowing me to open up these items in the doc sharing area for some reason. So it says it wants to download it, but then I can't see where it's downloading it. Okay, here we go. So this is a PDF file. You should be able to open it. What I've done is I've gone through and I've said everything you need to do. Like for project 1, you're going to do it as you watch the lesson. I'll talk about how to do that later, but you're not going to submit that. Then you complete assignment 1, editing what you did in project 1. Then you submit your Hello World folder. So if you follow these directions, these tell you the things that you are supposed to submit, how you're supposed to submit them, etc. So it goes through all the activities, all the projects. That's the work to submit. Grading information, talked about that already, right? Teacher contact information. So here's where you can read the K-12. So there's my email address and phone number as it was before. And then a few other things in here, glossary on computer terms, technology terms, things like that. This would be really helpful to you. I would recommend that you at least remember where that is. You don't need to print that out, but at least remember where it is in case you need to use some of those commands. Course help. This is just in general how to get help within K-12. Has nothing to do with this specific course. Academic integrity, how to be a good student, doing the right things, stuff like that. Netiquette top 5, so you know how to behave online and do the right things. It's copyright, so some things there that you don't need to worry about. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the course overview. And I'm going to quickly go through this because you work through it on your own and do the activities. But in the course overview, this whole overview is going to talk about how to move between windows, how to find files and folders, how to set up your web browser, install a zip utility, downloading the course resources, etc. Now moving through all this, you just use your arrows to move through these presentations. And these are what I call the the lesson presentation. So when you go down here, like to project 1 and start that work, it's going to be very similar to this. It's going to be a lesson presentation. So in lab 1 here, you're just kind of learning about the computer you need, and this would run on any modern computer, so no issue with that. Now the other thing about all these presentations, if you need to go to a particular point in these presentations, all you have to do down here is click Table of Content. So if I click that, so I can move to lab 2, lab 3, different parts of it. And that can be handy later on when you start working on the projects. Let's close that. So here's a little practice, see if you can answer that question. So now I'm going to have you follow these steps. In this course, you'll see numbered lists. These are the steps to complete the task. So when we go into projects, you'll see steps just like this. You can click on them, and when you click on them, it actually shows you over here the results of you clicking on those, and it shows the activity being done. So it's really easy to navigate through this course. So you can see that you could slide the scroll bar down to see more items, and this will be more clear to you when you go in to start doing the project presentations. You can also watch a demonstration of how to do particular things. So if I wanted to watch a demonstration of something, then all I have to do is click watch the demonstration. The hardware and software. So hardware, of course, are the pieces of the computer that you can touch. Software are the parts of a computing system that make the computer do something or allow you to do some work. That's what the software is all about. Then operating system. Of course, I have Windows 7 is mine. You might have Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows XP. And that's important because some of the work you're going to do in a minute, you need to know your operating system. So this says instructions and images in this course are made for Windows XP. Complete this step if your computer's operating system is not Windows XP. If you're not using XP, you need to click here. So if I click here, and I'll just do this temporarily, then I'm going to go through, and this helps me if I'm using Vista, Windows 7, or Mac, then I can go through and do all these different things and learn all this different stuff. But the presentation we're going to watch will just show how to do it in Windows XP. So this is telling you how to find the start menu in Windows, how to do the menu bar in Windows 7, how to find My Computer in Windows 7, how to change the folder view in Windows 7. And again, they're giving you this information because the course, the presentation that we're watching, because this presentation is written for Windows XP. And it's going to walk you through doing those steps. Okay, taskbars in Windows. Of course, mostly you should know about navigating through the taskbars at the bottom of a screen, and of course a lot of your window commands. Pressing multiple keys. So whenever it says control to do something, so let's hold down the CTRL key and hit whatever letter it says. So CTRL you usually find in the lower left corner of your keyboard. So that's the combination keys, Control A, Control S. Like Control S will automatically save a file for you. Switching between windows. Again, this is for Windows XP, so if you have two windows open, press down Alt and hit the Tab button, and then you can go to a different window. So Alt Tab will do different windows for you in Windows XP. So here's what we learned in Lab 1. Just some of the basics about navigating through the course and through our computer, right? And now you're going to go through and set up your computer. And this is going to give us the steps to do that. Of course, all the files are kept in folders. And you want to be really organized, especially in a programming class, so you know where everything is. So you want to follow their directions exactly in setting up the proper folders so you'll be able to save your files in the right place. And I just hit a button here. Let me get back. So folder view. There are different ways to view folders on your computer. So you can see how this is looking at icons of folders, and this is looking at the list view. There are many different folder views. Each folder view is different. On the next pages, you'll apply the list view. It's easier to use the list view to see files and folders than it is to use other views. So what I'm going to have you do now is walk through how to change your folder view in Windows XP to the list view. If you don't have Windows XP, then you're going to want to change to list view in Windows 7, Windows 8, whichever Windows you happen to have. And we can click here to watch the demonstration for this. I'm going to close a couple of things out here. So this should be showing us having an issue here. So this is going to show you how to change the folder view in Windows XP. But remember a screen a minute ago, so now this is showing list view. A minute ago we saw how to do it in Windows 7, Windows 8, whatever it happens to be. So this just is showing how to do it in Windows XP. If yours is different, then you need to find the different way to do that. So that's changing the folder view, which you want to do. File name extensions, you want to make sure you can see file name extensions, because you're going to have different types of files with the same main name, but the extension is going to be different. So you need to be able to view file extensions. And then to show the file extensions, here's a little demo of how in Windows XP to go show the file extensions. So again, if you have Windows XP, you can work through this. If you have Windows 7, then you need to work through that a different way. And you can see how this shows you the screenshots for the different things that you would be doing. So change it so you can see the file name extensions on your computer you're using. Okay, files and folders. Obviously, to open a folder, you double click it. Everybody knows that who's used Windows-based computers or used computers in the last 10 years. The main hard drive is obviously the C drive is the main hard drive, so that's what we're going to go by. If you save on a server or something like in a school, then your main drive might be the L drive, but for most purposes the C drive on your computer is going to be your main drive. Now this is going to step you through making a course folder. So you need to make this course folder. You'll make it on your C drive. So this is telling you, where to go. So you go into drive C. Then once you get into drive C, then you hit folder. Then you double click to create a new folder. And what they want you to do, they want you to create a new folder in the profiles folder. So file, new, then click folders type. So you're going to create a folder called profiles, then press the enter key. Then you get into that profiles folder. So you're going to create a folder on your C drive called profiles. Then you're going to do all of these things. Then within the profiles folder, you're going to type a name with, make a folder with your name without any spaces. That's going to be your username folder. So like this one, they made you can see there on the C drive, in the folder they called profiles, and they made a folder called username. Well, for me, instead of this saying username, they would probably say Harrison. So again, on your C drive, you're going to make a folder called profiles, and then put a folder with your name on it in that profiles folder. Then you go into your username folder, and when you're in that username folder that you made name, like mine might be Harrison, then I'm going to put a folder for C++. So I would call this C++. So in reality, my C drive will have a folder called profiles that I made, a folder in that called Harrison, and then a folder in that called C++. So that's what you want yours to look like. So you end up with a C++ folder on your computer. Okay, lab 3. Now we're going to set up our browser, install a zipping utility, and do things like that. So web browser, of course, is the software you use to navigate the internet. You could use Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, Firefox, whatever you happen to use. I think they'll all work fairly well with our classes. Now, this is going to have you change some web browser settings. So depending on the web browser you use, you might have to click here for Firefox directions or click here for Internet Explorer directions. So you're going to change your web browser. I'm going to go ahead and click Internet Explorer, since that's the most common one. So to change some of the settings in Internet Explorer, you're going to go right through these steps. It tells you exactly what to do. So you go to Internet Options, Reset All Zones, Privacy tab, Advances tab, and Privacy. You're going to go through and do all of these things. So hopefully your school computer will let you do that. So make those changes. So you have your browser set up. Okay, now file compression. Now, this suggests that you use a program called 7-Zip, but there's also, so this talks about a file compression utility called 7-Zip. And they're going to have you download that, but if you already have a zipping program, and most Windows machines these days automatically have a zipping program. And see, if you have a zipping program, right-click on any folder on your computer, and if you see zip or compress or something, then that means you have a zipping program. But this is important because when you submit your work, you're going to need to compress it to zip it. Zip files, those are zip folders, and files, these are folders that have been zipped. And again, you're going to have to zip your folders and then submit them, because your folders are going to have multiple files in them. So rather than sending me a bunch of individual files, you'll just send that one folder that'll have everything in it. Then unzipping, that's also called extracting. Whatever program you have, whether it's 7-Zip or just the program that your Windows computer uses, like my Windows 7, it zips and unzips automatically. It already has that capability. In fact, let's see if I can pull up a folder here. Let's go to my desktop. Insight 1314. And I'm going to scroll down here, see these folders. If I wanted to zip this one, I just right click and I can send to compress zip folder. So I could compress that automatically. So I'm going to go ahead and compress that just to show you how this works. So you can see what it did. It turned that into a zipped folder. Now I have my original one down here, Auto Engineering Julesburg, but I also have the zipped folder. Now if I wanted to unzip this, then I would just right click on it and I can hit extract all. Now I'm not going to do that because I already have it down below. I'm going to actually click on that and hit delete because I don't need it. But Windows 7 automatically has zipping utility within it. So practice is a question about zipping. See if you remember what we just talked about. You choose your browser. So now this is going to talk about downloading files are different for different browsers. Well, I'm going to hit Internet Explorer. You might want to, if you're using Firefox, you might want to do that. So this says download 7-Zip. Well, if I were you, I would not download 7-Zip. See if your computer already has a zipping utility. So the way to do that, find any folder on your computer, or make a fake folder if you want. Right click on it, and if it says send to zip folder, then that means you have a zipping utility. Otherwise, you can download 7-Zip. So you download and you install 7-Zip unless your computer zips automatically, and most computers do these days, as I said. So in this section, we learned all about this stuff. Okay, now Lab 4, just a little bit more work. So now you're going to download the course resources, unzip and install the course resources. This is really important because in this course they give you some of the files that you'll need to get started. So you need to make sure you follow these directions exactly. Now I'm going to go to Internet Explorer directions. And first I'm going to have you download the resources with Internet Explorer. So all you're going to do is you're going to click right here to download the course resources. Then you're going to save it. First, let's read where they want you to save it. So save as, go to Drive C, navigate to your course folder. Remember earlier we set up our course folder, so you have that C++ course folder you set up. It was profiles, and then your name folder, and then C++ folder. So you're going to go to that C++ folder, and you're going to save these resources. So you can see in the lower left corner, mine went resources zip.4. So what I would do is since I have that there, I would go ahead and I'm going to double click on it, or single click on it. So see, this is actually, so that went to my downloads, and I'm going to go down here. That's the folder right there. So what I would do is I would go ahead and copy that, then I'd go into my profiles and I'd put it in that C++ folder. So however you can do it, somehow get this zipped folder, this resources.zip folder, into your C++ folder that you created before. Then once you get it in that folder, then you're going to unzip it, and the way you unzip it, so you go to your C drive, and you go to that. So once you're in the C drive, then of course you navigate, you get to your name folder, to your C++ folder. There's the resources.zip, and you would right click on that and extract here. Or you could do the 7-zip. But see, I would just right click on that and do extract all. There's really no need to download 7-zip. So you're going to extract all those things that are in the resources folder into your C++ folder. Now you're going to install 2008 Express. As I said before, this says double click the vcsetup.exe, and you can give that a try. I can't do it on mine because I already have C++ downloaded, but this might download C++. Actually, they have that in the resources folder that you just downloaded. So you can give that a try to see if it will do C++. If it does not do C++ version 2008, then of course you're going to go to that link that I showed you in the announcements. But you can give this a try, see if it'll download, if it'll install for you. In this course, you're doing a bunch of course projects. That's how the course is organized. Different assignments. So what they're talking about right over here, so there's project 1, then assignment. And the way this works, what you'll do is you'll go into project 1, and project 1 will step you through doing a bunch of the work. And then assignment 1 is where you actually do your own programming, and then that's going to be what you ultimately submit. Completing assignments. So you can see that it just talks about completing assignments. Turning in when you finish the assignment, you're going to zip files to me when you complete your assignments. Now, how to zip files, this talks about it. So you're going to have a folder called assignment 1, and then you're going to right click on that folder. Then you're going to either choose 7-zip, or you could choose send to zip folder. So you're going to zip the folder you have called assignment_1. So you make sure you name these things the correct names. And you don't really have to worry about unzipping from here on out. I'll unzip this when you submit it. But you zip and then you submit it into the Dropbox. So we've learned all of this in lab number 4 on how to get our computers, or how to access our resources, get those installed on our computer, and get ready to go. So we've done all of this as part of the getting started in this class. So we're finished. That's all of week 1 work, actually, so pretty simple. Next week you're going to start with project 1, and in project 1 you'll jump right in here, and as I said, on this work this is going to be project 1. You're just going to create a very basic program, a very simple program, but this will work you through like how to open and save a C++ project, how to use the library, etc. So you go through and you'll follow all of their directions on doing the hello world. Then once you do that, then on assignment 1 is going to tell you something different. It's going to say, hey, remember you did that hello world program? Well, now you're going to use that hello world program and you're going to add more stuff to it. And then that's going to be the assignment. The assignments are what you turn in. So you're going to make a different hello world. You're going to use the same hello world, but it's going to say something different from that original hello world. So that's the work that you do. So the project gives you the basics for the program. You start creating the program, but then the assignment is where you actually add to it on your own. So that's how the work happens in this course, and I will put together a video on doing project 1, project 2, all of those units. Okay, well, thank you for watching this. Hopefully you have your computer all set up properly. You start off at the beginning with the correct folders, and nothing will go wrong. Just do everything the right way, and you'll end up doing just fine. Okay, thank you. Bye.